The lights are about to go to red and... Oh, no, 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 no! We have had a crash. We have had a crash. Charles Leclerc goes past on Sergio Perez. Perez is struggling, but Leclerc's gone wide. Leclerc's gone wide. Lorenzo tries to force a manoeuvre on Dovizioso's. Oh, whoa! Miguel Oliveira wins for the Tectoir KTM team. Welcome everybody to the 2010 Motogp World Championship, and here we kick off in the Middle East of the world at round one at the Lusail International Circuit in Doha, Qatar. And this has been the opening round of the season since 2007. Casey Stoner has won the last 3 races here. Can he get 4 in a row at this magnificent circuit here in the Middle East? It's round one, the Commercial Bank Grand Prix of Qatar. And coming up before the first round of the season, there are new faces. There are new faces in this category for this year, especially the 2009 250 world champion Hiroshi Ayama, and he's been the best of the rest for the rookies so far for qualifying. Randy Depunier has been the best of the Hondas this qualifying, but what about the big boys known as the 4 aliens? What can they do to stop Stoner from winning this race? Rossi and Lorenzo are keen on battling the Ducati here at Qatar, but the 2 Yamahas, Rossi is second, Lorenzo third on the grid, but the man they have to beat is once again Casey Stoner, and he is on pole position. Will it be 4 in a row for the Australian? So yeah, a very, very warm welcome and evening for the beginning of the MotoGP World Championship. The sun has set on the desert and the floodlights are on, and we're going to be ready for some action after a 5-month winter break. A new season, new chapter. The reigning world champion, Valentino Rossi, will be looking for his 10th world title this season, but this, I think, will be the hardest yet for the Doctor. There are new contenders emerging. The young pretenders are getting quicker and quicker, and then challenging Rossi to the absolute limits. Jorge Lorenzo came second in the championship last season behind his teammates. Dani Pedrosa came third, and Casey Stoner, the favourite for this race and pole position for this race, came 4th in the World Championship last year in 2009. Can one of these three, or can anyone really, get closer to challenging Rossi for the title? But like I said, Stoner's on pole. He also has the circuit record here. Lorenzo has the pole position record though, 153.927, but the speed record is from Pedrosa at over 330 miles an hour at this circuit. Obviously, the circuit was built in 2004. It came for the its debut season obviously was 2004. That was where Sete Gibernau had his final Grand Prix victory, and after that Valentino Rossi said he would never win a race ever again. And he was right as well. He was spot on. Sete's been close though, obviously, in 2005, but obviously endured a disastrous season. But Sete Gibernau is no longer here, obviously, on the grid. He briefly came back in 2009, but retired midway through the season. But here's his arch rival back in the day. This is the Doctor. This is Valentino Rossi, the 2009 world champion, the 2008 world champion as well. Can he finally beat Casey Stoner at this circuit? It's a big ask for not just Valentino Rossi, but for all of Yamaha today. Also for Repsol Honda with Pedrosa and also his teammate Dovizioso. Dovizioso is actually ahead of Pedrosa on the grid. He's 6th. Pedrosa, the little samurai, is in 7th. Obviously, the two Yamahas in 2nd and 3rd. Stoner on pole, but the best Honda that for qualifying yesterday was Randy Depunier on the LCR bike. Lucio Cecchinello's team. He's at the start of the 2nd row, 4th on the grid. 5th is Capirossi on the Suzuki, followed by Dovizioso and Pedrosa. And then it's Edwards and Hayden, Stoner's teammate, at the edge of the 3rd row. He will look to have a redemption season this season, Nicky Hayden. But meanwhile, his teammate, Casey Stoner, is on pole position. He is the clear favourite for this race here in Qatar. He destined to get 4 in a row. And he has been dominant at this circuit since 2007. Obviously, he had his debut in 2006, and he still had a brilliant race then. But then came the experience of Loris Capirossi and the former Ducati rider Sete Gibernau, who overtook Stoner in that race. And then, ironically and obviously, of course, Stoner took Gibernau's spot in the Ducati team in 2007 all the way to now. Meanwhile, here is the reigning world champion, Valentino Rossi. His debut was obviously South Africa in 2000. He's qualified 2nd fastest, and his clear goal for today, for the opening of his title defence, is to simply beat Casey Stoner at this track. But he is going to have a hard time, though, because watch out for the man who's qualified just behind him on the front row. There he is, his teammate, the runner-up of 2009, Jorge Lorenzo. His debut was astonishing 2 seasons ago in 2008. He came 2nd behind Stoner, and Lorenzo's holding up a sign there saying alcohol is not the right thing. And yeah, he's a very cheeky chap, isn't he? And obviously, I mean, he's spot on, of course, but yeah, water's the right thing to have. But anyway, Lorenzo's 3rd on the grid. What I was going to say was that about Rossi was that this will be his toughest season yet. He called 2009 his toughest season yet because he knows the young pretenders are getting faster and faster and are going to try, and they eventually will, beat him in the championship. There's Randy Depunier, 4th on the grid on Lucio Cecchinello's bike. What a qualifying for the Frenchman. He was 11th in the championship in 2009. He is looking to have a much better season this season. Meanwhile, here's the experience of Loris Capirossi, the oldest rider on the grid. He's 5th on the grid, in the middle of the 2nd row, looking for his first victory with Suzuki still. He didn't have a podium in 2009, which was a shame for Loris, but he was consistent and tried to be as consistent as possible. He was 9th in the World Championship in 2009. He only had 3 retirements all season. One of them was here, of course, because Capirossi was having a superb race here last season, but crashed out. His other retirements, obviously, last season were Laguna Seca and Estoril. And Capirossi will want to try and be more consistent, especially that he's the oldest rider now on the grid. Fellow Italian Andrea Dovizioso is 6th on the grid. And Dovi will be hoping to beat Capirossi, but his teammate will be hoping to beat Dovi. Here he is, Dani Pedrosa. He is 7th on the grid. One of the favourites once again for this season. Him, Lorenzo, Rossi and Stoner, dubbed as the 4 aliens. But we maybe one of the newcomers or one of the veterans will join them in part of the aliens group. This is the man, however, 8th on the grid. That was the best of the rest in 2009. The Texas Tornado, Colin Edwards. He is 8th on the grid. He's on the 3rd row. He is getting of age, 36 years old, but he's still there and still being as consistent as possible. When I said Capirossi was consistent, Edwards was even more consistent. His one retirement was at Misano, where he got unfairly taken out by Alex De Angelis, of course. And Colin Edwards was best of the rest in 2009, but he knows that this year will be harder for him. And basically, all the fans want to see now is for Colin to win a Grand Prix finally, the Texas Tornado. His American rival, the Kentucky Kid, Nicky Hayden's alongside him. A big season for Nicky Hayden. His second season with Ducati. He struggled in 2009. He did have a podium at Indianapolis, of course. He came 13th, but it was a mad battle for 7th in the championship, of course, in 2009. Meanwhile, here is the top rookie of this from qualifying yesterday. Hiroshi Ayama, the Japanese rider, riding for the Interwetten JIR Honda bike. It's now JIR is now sponsored by Interwetten, not by Scott. But he is the reigning 250 world champion, Hiroshi Ayama, and he will be hoping to make an impact today. Alongside Ayama is a new American who's arrived. He's the 2009 World Superbike champion, Ben Spies. At the age of 25, he's taken James Tosland's spot in the Monster Yamaha Tectoire garage. He's alongside Colin Edwards, and Elbows is on the 4th row of the grid, just alongside Ayama, just behind Ayama on the 4th row of the grid, and just in front of the man who finished 15th in the championship in 2009 and showed he was fast on that Pramac Dan Team Ducati, Mika Kallio. And Mika Kallio is hoping to have an even better season this year. He's on the 4th row alongside Ayama and Spies. But I was just going to say, going back to Nicky Hayden, it's a big season for the Kentucky Kid. Obviously, he finished 13th in 2009 with 104 points. But like I said, it was a close battle for 7th place in the championship. But I'd say it's a good move by Nicky to stick with Ducati for a second season. Maybe he can make that Ducati work. Marco Melandri struggled on the Ducati. Nicky Hayden will hoping to not have the same. Here's another one of the rookies, meanwhile. Alvaro Bautista. He is Loris Capirossi's new teammate at Suzuki. 13th on the grid on the 5th row. He's taken Chris Vermeulen's spot at Suzuki. Vermeulen's gone to World Superbikes with Kawasaki for this season here in 2010. And Bautista looked very impressive on that Suzuki. He's on the 5th row. There was a crash during the practices that I think just nabbed him off to get being a bit higher in the on the grid. Another one of the rookies, a compatriot of Bautista's, Aleix Espargaro, is on the 5th row of the grid. He's the teammate to Bautista. It's an all-rookie 5th row. It's Bautista, Espargaro, and then Marco Simoncelli, 15th on the grid, with the Gresini bike. He's replaced, both him and Marco Melandri have replaced Tony Elias and Alex De Angelis in the team. Both of those riders have gone into Moto2 this season. And the other one of the rookies is Hector Barbera on a satellite Ducati, 16th on the grid, just behind Simoncelli, in front of Melandri. Melandri's dead last on the grid, and he will be hoping to have a redemption with Gresini Honda this season. He came 2nd, 5th, and 4th on that bike, Marco Melandri. 2nd in 2005, 4th in 2006, and 5th in 2007. This is a redemption season for Marco Melandri after that disastrous 2008 season with Ducati. And then 2009, he was with the Hayate Kawasaki team and finished 10th place. And it's a shame that the end of Melandri's season didn't go as to plan, because he did have an incredible start, especially with that podium at Le Mans with 2nd place in 2009, just behind Lorenzo. But no, Melandri is 17th on the grid. At the back, he's got a lot of work to do. So yeah, that's from 13th to 17th. But no, I was going to go back to Espargaro. He may be a rookie, and this is, technically this is his first season, because it will be his debut first season, but he did come in 2009 as a replacement rider for Niccolò Canepa towards the end of 2009, and now Aleix Espargaro has been completely signed by the Pramac Danti Ducati team as the new teammate of Mika Kallio. So yeah, that is... That they are your 17 riders on the grid. Casey Stoner, Valentino Rossi and Lorenzo on the front row. followed by Depunier, Capirossi, Dovizioso as the safety car goes out, the BMW. Then it's Pedrosa, Edwards, Hayden, then Ayama, Spies, Kallio, Bautista, Espargaro, Simoncelli, and then Barbara and Melandri. The safety car goes out, and here are your riders of 2010. Here's Nicky Hayden, teammate of Casey Stoner. The 2006 world champion is on his second season at Ducati. Loris Capirossi, the oldest rider on the grid now, stays with Suzuki. Marco Simoncelli, one of the newcomers this season, joins Gresini Honda. Alesius Espargaro fully joins the Pramac Danti Ducati team alongside Kallio. Hector Barbera, a new one of the newcomers, the runner-up of the 2009 250 World Championship, joins the satellite Ducati team. Mika Kallio's second season with the Pramac Danti Ducati team. Marco Melandri returns to Honda Gresini, the 2005 runner-up, hoping to have a redemption season. Alvaro Bautista joins Capirossi at Suzuki. Randy Depunier, this is his third season at LCR Honda. Can he make it his best yet? The 2009 World Superbike champion, Elbows, Ben Spies, joins Colin Edwards. And Hiroshi Ayama is on a satellite Honda, the 2009 250 World Champion. Colin Edwards is hoping to have a better season than 2009. He was the best of the rest in 2009. Andrea Dovizioso came 6th in the World Championship. But can any of these guys beat the four aliens? Casey Stoner is on the Ducati once more, the 2007 World Champion. Danny Pedrosa, can he get his first World Championship finally in 2010? Or what about Jorge Lorenzo? Jorge Lorenzo's third season in MotoGP, and can he finally beat the man that everyone has to beat? It's the reigning world champion, the Doctor, Valentino Rossi. Welcome to 2010. So, here we go. All the teams are heading back towards their garages, and it will be just the 17 riders and the safety car left. Circuit record was by Casey Stoner, and he starts on pole ahead of Rossi and Lorenzo. Randy Depunier, Loris Capirossi and Andrea Dovizioso on the second row of the grid. Stoner, of course, the man to beat. Pedrosa, Edwards and Hayden on the third row, followed by Ayama, Spies and Kallio. The 2009 250cc world champion and the 2009 world superbike champion joined together on the fourth row. Then it's Bautista, Espargaro and Simoncelli, followed by Hector Barbera and Marco Melandri, bringing up the rear, who has moved back to Honda Gresini. Can he make an impact from 17th on the grid? We have waited 5 months for this moment, and can anyone on the grid beat this man here, who has dominated practice, dominated qualifying, and has dominated the last 3 seasons here at Qatar? It's the young Australian Casey Stoner. Can any of them finally beat him this season as the riders finally go for their warm-up lap, which Rossi and Depunier lead the way for? Stoner, as usual, of course, let everybody pass him, because that's his warm-up ritual, is for Casey Stoner to be right at the back of the pack in the warm-up lap. But this is going to be an interesting 2010 season. We've lost Kawasaki this season, which is a shame. Well, we fully lost Kawasaki after 2008, but obviously Dorna persuaded Kawasaki to let Melandri ride that Hayate bike in 2009. But Kawasaki are completely out of the World Championship now. It is just Honda, Yamaha, Ducati and Suzuki. Speaking of Suzuki, we're on board with Bautista. What race will he have? From 13th on the grid on the front of the 5th row. This is going to be a very interesting race. Can any of the rookies bring it up to challenge the veterans, the title challengers, and the consistency veterans as well? Well, it's a tough order for all of the rookies. Bautista, Simoncelli, Ayama, Spies, Barbera, Espargaro. Can they bring it up? yes, it's their first race in this category, so it will be an ask. But if they do bring it up to the likes of Hayden, Melandri, Capirossi, Edwards, Pedrosa, Dovizioso, Lorenzo, Stoner, Rossi, then that is a brilliant, brilliant start to their MotoGP careers, especially in the top class. Well, Ben Spies, this fully is his start of his MotoGP career, because obviously with all the others, they've been in the 125s and the 250s. Ayama won the 2009 250 championship. Simoncelli won the 2008 250 championship. Simoncelli is finally on the grid. He's 15th on the grid, so he has got a tough order, Marco Simoncelli, but he has qualified ahead of his teammate, who's right at the back of the grid. We're on board with Valentino Rossi, who will qualify second, but will he or any of the riders challenge Casey Stoner, as Stoner is the clear favourite, starting from pole position, and he will aim to get a 4th win at Qatar in a row. Dominated practice, dominated qualifying, dominated the last 3 seasons, and we are going to be ready. We're all going to be ready for the start of the 2010 MotoGP World Championship. In a minute, those lights are going to go red, which they are now. And away we go, and Rossi had a fantastic start, and I think Stoner did not have a great start at all. He's gone completely bogged down there by some of the riders there. But look at Pedrosa from 7th on the grid, and Pedrosa's going to hit the front. What a start for the Spaniard. Pedrosa leads from Rossi in second, and that is it's another Ducati. It's not Stoner, it's Nicky Hayden. It's Nicky Hayden who is in 3rd position, not Casey Stoner. Stoner is 4th. Pedrosa, an absolutely superb start. He has gone from 7th on the grid to the lead, but that now is shortly lived, because now Rossi leads the way. So, Valentino Rossi leads from Pedrosa 2nd. Hayden, what a start from the Kentucky kid. 9th on the grid, and he's in 3rd. Pedrosa and Hayden, fantastic starts. From 9th on the grid and 7th on the grid, and they're in the top 3. Then it's Stoner in 4th, followed by Lorenzo in 5th, who had a look at Stoner, but no way through one bit from Jorge Lorenzo. But it is Rossi who leads. Pedrosa 2nd, Hayden 3rd. Hayden did actually get very close to Pedrosa then, as we see Capirossi ahead of Dovizioso, Ben Spies. Ben Spies had a brilliant start. Dovizioso goes through, as does Spies. Dovizioso and Spies. No, he didn't know. It was just Dovizioso. Dovizioso goes through on Capirossi and into 6th place. Capirossi 7th. Ben Spies 8th. What a start from Ben Spies. In fact, Ben Spies has got past Loris Capirossi and Dovizioso. What a start from Spies. By far the best start from the rookies. And Spies is in 6th place. Dovizioso 7th. Capirossi 8th. Randy Depunier did not have a good start. He was 4th on the grid, and Randy Depunier, the Frenchman, is in 9th. And he's under pressure from Marco Simoncelli, who has had a great start from 15th on the grid, who's already up to 10th. As we go on to the end of the first lap, onto the second lap, Rossi, the reigning world champion, leads the way. The number 46 leads the number 26. And Danny Pedrosa, the number 26, is going to retake the lead from Valentino Rossi. And Danny Pedrosa's back in the front. And the 2 Ducatis, I think, have swapped positions. Yes, they have. So Stoner has gone through on Hayden. And Stoner will want to challenge both Pedrosa and Rossi for the lead. In fact, Stoner goes side by side with Rossi. Stoner's through on Hayden already, and Hayden's down to 4th, but still a very good start from Hayden. And Stoner side by side with Rossi, and Stoner goes through. So, Casey Stoner's up to 2nd and is going to challenge and chase. He's going to challenge and chase his, the man that he's literally been in his career pretty much with, and his biggest rival pretty much in the whole of his career, Danny Pedrosa. They started MotoGP together in 2006, and they've been big rivals from their early careers ever since, Pedrosa and Stoner. Pedrosa leads, Stoner 2nd, Rossi in 3rd, Hayden 4th, and they are the top 4 at the moment. Number 27 chasing the number 26. Danny Pedrosa, of course, as we knew, was number 3 in 2008 and number 2 in 2009. No, sorry, number 2 in 2008, sorry, and then number 3 in 2009. because they were the numbers he chose, because that was the position he finished in from 2008 and 2009. But the fans wanted, all of Dani Pedrosa's fans wanted Pedrosa to go back to the number 26, the number he has been pretty much throughout his career. And that's what Dani Pedrosa's done. He's back to number 26, but Stoner is all over the back of Dani Pedrosa as we're about to go onto lap 3. Stoner's staying with Pedrosa. Rossi's trying to stay put with both of them. And Stoner's side by side with Dani Pedrosa over 200 miles an hour. And Casey Stoner takes the lead on lap 3. So, Stoner leads from Pedrosa in second, Rossi third, Hayden fourth, Dovizioso fifth, Lorenzo in sixth. Dovizioso's got past Lorenzo, and can Dovizioso catch Nicky? Can Dovi catch Nicky? So, Dovizioso's on a charge. Lorenzo is in sixth. Not the best of starts from Lorenzo, but again, it's early days. There's still 20 laps to go. He could still join in the fight for the lead towards the end of this race. But as it stands, it's Stoner, the man who's dominated this race for the last 3 seasons, is leading the way. Pedrosa second, staying with him. Rossi third, Hayden fourth, from Dovizioso, then Lorenzo. Spies is in seventh, and there's Marco Simoncelli. Marco Simoncelli's got past Colin Edwards, and he's in 10th place, Marco Simoncelli. But no, great start from Spies. He's in 7th. Depunier 8th, not a great start from Depunier, and Capirossi's gone all the way down to 9th. And we see a replay. Of Stoner going past Pedrosa, and Stoner is into the lead as his wife Adriana watches, as does the rest of the Ducati crew. Well, Stoner's side of the Ducati box, but yeah, pretty sure they're all watching on. But anyway, Stoner leads, and now Rossi is hunting down the Little Samurai for second place in this race, as we are about to start the next lap. 19 laps to go. Rossi staying with Pedrosa. Stoner's trying to pull away from everyone, and he's already pulled a gap between himself and the Little Samurai, Dani Pedrosa. But it is the Doctor who is chasing Dani Pedrosa for that second place. And will Rossi get past? Not quite yet. He's not close enough at the moment. But the fastest lap of the race is from Stoner. A 1:56.008 from Casey Stoner. He is leading this race with 19 laps to go. Will he make it 4 in a row at this circuit? But he hasn't quite... yes, he's pulled a gap on Pedrosa, but he hasn't quite pulled away, because the front 6 are actually trying their best to stay with each other. The 2 Hondas, the 2 Yamahas, and the 2 Ducatis. Lorenzo's trying his absolute best to stay with Hayden and Dovizioso, but those 2, in turn, are trying to stay put with Pedrosa and Rossi, and of course Stoner. But Stoner's trying everything he can to pull away from Pedrosa and Rossi. Pedrosa pulled a few seconds back then on Stoner, but obviously nowhere near close enough to overtake the Aussie. Rossi looking at every single opportunity he has to try and get past Pedrosa. A slide there from Nicky Hayden, but he is that's usually his riding style. He's used to the dirt bikes back in America in his old days, and the Kentucky kid has had an absolutely superb start on the Ducati. Easily his best ride on the Ducati after everything he's went through in 2009. Yes, he got that podium, 3rd place at Indianapolis, but this is the closest Nicky's been to. This is the closest Nicky has been to the leaders on that Duke. So it is really a terrific start for Nicky Hayden, as we're going to have 18 laps to go in a minute. Rossi trying to stay with Pedrosa, but still no way through. Stoner leads. So this is confirmation after lap 4. Stoner from Pedrosa. Pedrosa's 0.6 behind Stoner. Rossi 3rd, Hayden 4th, then Dovizioso and Lorenzo. Spies, by far the best of the rookies so far, in 7th. 8th is Depunier, 9th is Capirossi, 10th is Colin Edwards, who's got back past Marco Simoncelli, who's 11th. Espargaro 12th. Melandri's made some progress from 17th. He's 13th, ahead of Ayama, Bautista and Barbara. Mika Kallio is already out of this race. Crashed out when he lost the front on lap 3 trying to pass Hector Barbara. So Mika Kallio is out of this race. Meanwhile, Rossi has got closer and closer to Pedrosa. In fact, Hayden's closed in on them both. Nicky could be in line for a podium here today. It would be amazing for the Kentucky kid. And it would easily be his best result on a Ducati. But meanwhile, Rossi goes through on Pedrosa. Danny tries to fight back, but no way through. And Valentino Rossi is up to second place, and he will want to chase down Casey Stoner. And Stoner has pulled away from this group, battling for second place now fully. He's about, completely, Will Rossi catch Stoner? So Rossi is in second, and he has to hunt. He has to hunt Casey Stoner. Meanwhile, Nicky Hayden is in a Repsol Honda sandwich. His former employees, Nicky Hayden, who he was with from 2003 to 2008. Pedrosa's in front of Hayden with Dovi just behind the Kentucky kid. In fact, Hayden came out of that final corner amazingly. Dovizioso, though, is coming through his slipstream to try and get through on Pedrosa, but Hayden is through on Pedrosa. Sorry, Dovizioso tried to get through. Dovizioso tried to get through on Hayden, but Hayden's through on Pedrosa, and Nicky is up to third. A great race from the Kentucky kid. Can Hayden catch Rossi? Or can any of them catch Rossi and Stoner? But Stoner is leading this race brilliantly. He set another fastest lap of 1:55.537, and he's had a brilliant. Oh no! Casey Stoner is down. That's commentator's curse right there. I just said he was leading this race absolutely brilliantly, and he looked destined to get a fourth race victory in Qatar in a row. And Casey Stoner's crashed out of the race. What a shock! And Stoner's out. Unbelievable. And now, Valentino Rossi leads this race with Nicky Hayden up into second. What an incredible race from Nicky. And no points for Stoner. He's crashed at turn 4. The double apex right. And that's 25 points gone. It was out. It was in Stoner's hands, this race. He was pulling away from Rossi, Hayden, Pedrosa, Dovizioso and Lorenzo, and Stoner's crashed out of turn 4. What a disaster for the Australian, and it looked to be 4 in a row at Qatar, but it's not going to be for 2010. Casey Stoner is out of this race. That's a big blow for Ducati. In fact, that's 2 Ducatis out of the race already. Stoner is out, Kallio is out. The best Ducati right now performing is indeed Hayden, of course. Well, there's 3 Ducatis left. Hayden, Espargaro and Barbara. Obviously, the 2 Spaniards are further down the field, but just an amazing ride this is from Nicky Hayden. Second place behind the Doctor. And it's just been absolutely brilliant. Easily the closest Nicky's been to the lead on that Duke. And just a fantastic ride from Nicky Hayden. He is under pressure, though, from Dovi in third. Dovi's got past Pedrosa, so Dovizioso's up to third, and he is actually staying put with Nicky Hayden. In fact, Pedrosa's going to lose another position, this time to Lorenzo. Jorge Lorenzo moves up to 4th place. He's through on his great rival, Danny Pedrosa, and Porfuera is up to 4th. And that puts Pedrosa down to 5th. 6th is Spies. Obviously, he's up to 6th now because of Stoner's crash. I'm shocked about Stoner's crash still. I just can't believe it. So, Rossi leading, Hayden second, Dovizioso third, Pedrosa down to 5th, obviously, because Lorenzo's got past. Pedrosa tries to fight back, but no way through. Spies is in 6th place, and then it's Randy Depunier in 7th. Can Randy Depunier keep up with Ben Spies, who's in 6th place? But obviously, the biggest news of today so far is that Casey Stoner has crashed out of the lead. and that is a big blow to the start of 2010. Obviously, you don't win championships on the very first race of the season, but it's still the 25 points, could still be absolutely vital to Stoner's chances in the championship. He will want to redeem the. He wants to erase this race from his memory completely by trying to win at the next round instead at Jerez. Easily the best we've seen Nicky Hayden on the Ducati. Probably the best we've seen Nicky Hayden actually since his title-winning season in 2006. Yes, 2007 was not great for Hayden. Finished in 8th in the championship, but obviously he had his moments in both 2007 and 2008. Australia 2007 was a race Hayden should have or could have won and challenged Stoner for the race, but his engine cut out and had a lost valve, obviously. And then 2008, he had that beautiful ride for Indianapolis just when it was announced that he lost his Repsol Honda seat to the man just behind him, Andrea Dovizioso. And Hayden could have won that race at Indy in 2008, but instead it was won by Rossi. After the purgatory of the start of 2009, Nicky had, this is, easily the best we've seen Hayden on the Ducati. And he is in second place, hoping to overtake Rossi. But he's got to be wary that Dovizioso is just behind him. Meanwhile, his teammate, Danny Pedrosa, has got Ben Spies just behind him. Pedrosa is slipping in this race. There's something wrong with Pedrosa's Honda here. And Ben Spies is right behind him. Randy DePunier's with him as well. So, this could turn into a disappointing start to the season for Danny Pedrosa. Jorge Lorenzo stays in 4th place as we're about to have 14 laps left of this race here in Qatar. Lorenzo's still in 4th. And Dovizioso, meanwhile, has got past Hayden. So, Dovi's up to 2nd and will now try and chase his compatriot, Valentino Rossi, who leads this race still. Rossi leads, and now Dovizioso moves ahead of Hayden into 2nd place. So, can Dovi take the fight to the doctor for the lead? Could this be... that's Aleix Espargaro there. So, Aleix Espargaro is coming into the pits. I think that's a technical problem with Espargaro's bike, and that's both Pramac Dantin Ducatis. That's both Pramac Dantin Ducatis surely out of the race. A horrible day for Luis Dantin's team, and it could be a horrible day for Ducati as well. We're hoping to not have Hector Barbera and Nicky Hayden also retire from the race, because Nicky's having a superb race especially, but this could still be an absolute disastrous day for Ducati. Here's Hayden's compatriot, the rookie, Ben Spies, in 6th place still. He hasn't got past Pedrosa yet. And there is Espargaro going into his pit box. He's furious. He's gutted. He's absolutely gutted. What a shame for the youngster, the rookie, one of the rookies of 2010. Obviously, he came in as a replacement rider for Nicolo Canepa at the end of 2009, but Espargaro is out of this race. He also came in as a replacement for Kallio when Kallio went to Ducati to replace Stoner in the middle of the season for 3 races in 2009, last season, of course. But Kallio's out, Stoner's out, Espargaro's out. Horrible start for Ducati. Barbara's still in the race. Hayden's still in the race. But Hayden's having a superb ride in 3rd place. He's doing everything he can to stay with Rossi and Dovi for the lead. Lorenzo's still involved. And there is Mika Kallio. He is also, of course, out of the race. And he'll be gutted with his race as well. He crashed out while trying to challenge Hector Barbera. But Kallio's out of the race. The man from Finland is out of this race. See, I think we've got a complete race to battle with going on here, because when Casey Stoner was leading this race, we all thought, that's it, Stoner's going to go on and win this race. He was pulling away from Rossi as well, but with Stoner out of the race, I think we could actually have a race on our hands here, because the top 7 riders are very close to each other. Rossi, Dovizioso, Hayden, Lorenzo, Pedrosa, Spies and Depunier. Spies tries to go through Pedrosa once more, but no way through for Elbows. And Ben Spies is in 6th place. He's lining up Danny Pedrosa, but there's no way through for number 11 on the monster Yamaha Tech 3. Randy Depunier is just behind. This is a replay of Spies right behind Pedrosa. He tried to find a way through, and no way through. But this time he does find a way through, and Spies is up to 5th. Incredible ride from Ben Spies. Spies is up to 5th, and that puts Pedrosa down to 6th place. I did say some of the rookies could surprise some of the aliens here today in MotoGP, and Ben Spies has fully surprised Danny Pedrosa. Pedrosa gets him back on the straight though, and Danny retakes 5th spot. But here comes Ben going into the corner. The Yamaha usually has the better corner speed than the Honda. The Honda's better on the straight, but the Yamaha tends to be better on the corners on paper, and Spies is up to 5th once more. Retakes 5th from Pedrosa, and Randy Depunier is also having a look at Danny Pedrosa. The two Hondas battling it out for 6th place. One Satellite, one Repsol factory, obviously, and would be amazing for Lucio Cecchinello's team if Depunier's bike gets past Pedrosa's factory machine. Speaking about that, Depunier is through. Depunier is through on Pedrosa. This is a disastrous race from the Spaniard so far, and Danny is all the way down to 7th place. Randy Depunier is up to 6th. Can he challenge Ben Spies for 5th? So, with 12 laps to go, Randy Depunier is up to 6th place. It's not over yet. Yes, the top 4 are now trying to break away from Spies, Depunier and Pedrosa, but this race isn't over yet. This is a replay of Depunier overtaking Pedrosa, and Pedrosa's down to 7th. Meanwhile, in the battle for 2nd, Pedrosa's teammate, Andrea Dovizioso, who's having a much better ride than Danny Pedrosa, is still just ahead of Nicky Hayden. Dovizioso 2nd, Hayden in 3rd. Hayden trying everything he can to get past Dovizioso, but these two are going to have to be wary, though, for the man that's in 4th place, in a lonely 4th place at the moment, but he is trying his best to catch up with the front 3, and that is indeed Jorge Lorenzo. Poor Fuera is in 4th, in a lonely 4th. He's pulled away from Spies. Depunier and Pedrosa, but he's catching up to Rossi, Dovizioso and Hayden. Here's Colin Edwards and Loris Capirossi, 2 Grand Prix veterans in 8th and 9th spots. Of course, as we see there, Loris Capirossi is wearing the number 300 instead of his usual number 65, because this is Loris Capirossi's 300th Grand Prix of his MotoGP career. He's been in the top class since 1995. He's been in the MotoGP paddock in the 125s. He started in the 125s all the way back in 1990. And literally, it's been an incredible career for Loris Capirossi. His 300th Grand Prix. He was ahead of Colin Edwards, actually, but the Texas Tornado has got back past him and has gone through into 8th spot. So, a good manoeuvre there from Colin, but this will be seen as not the best of races from Edwards, that's for sure, because his teammate is ahead of him, and Ben Spies is having an exceptional race in 5th spot at the moment. So, that's going to be worrying for Edwards, because he knows that yes, it's already been one race of the season, but he is now aware on how fast his teammate is. Obviously, both of those riders, Edwards and Spies, both won World Superbike Championships, so they've got similar riding styles, but could Edwards bite back against Spies in the rest of the season? We don't know. We will see. Meanwhile, the other American, Nicky Hayden, is doing everything he can to try and get past Andrea Dovizioso, but there is no way through. see how much of the drive that Honda has on the straight compared to Ducati. The Ducati, especially in 07 and 08, as we saw, definitely was the fastest bike on the grid. But I think that Ducati's started to lose a bit of that speed, and the Honda, I think, is as fast as it. Meanwhile, so this is the battle for 8th. Edwards 8th, Capirossi 9th, and that is Hiroshi Ayama on the Interwetton Honda in 10th place. A great ride from Hiroshi Ayama. He's not the top rookie. The top rookie's Ben Spies. Ayama is in 10th spot. Just behind him is Marco Simoncelli in 11th, another one of the rookies. Simoncelli and Ayama are both in their first races in the top class, and they're up there with Grand Prix veterans Colin Edwards and Loris Capirossi, and a great ride from both Ayama and Simoncelli. Yes, Ayama did start from 10th on the grid, and he is in 10th at the moment, but still, that's a very solid, if he stays like that, that's a very solid start to his career in the top class. There's Danny Pedrosa. This will not be a good start to the season for Danny, that's for sure. Hayden closing in on Dovizioso, meanwhile, no way through. Speed still in 5th, Depunier still in 6th. Lorenzo still in 4th, and his teammate Rossi still leads. But look, Marco Simoncelli, Hiroshi Ayama, a great start for him in 10th spot. Marco Simoncelli started 15th on the grid and is in 11th. Can Simoncelli find a way past Ayama? We don't know, but it's a great start for both of those riders. But none of the rookies have done as good of a job as Ben Spies so far in this race. Spies, an exceptional ride in 5th spot at the moment. 9 laps to go. Nicky Hayden's just set the fastest lap of his race in the race, and Hayden doing everything he can to get past Dovizioso, but still no way through. He's hanging in there in 3rd place. 4th is Lorenzo. Going further down the order, behind Simoncelli, Melandri is in 12th, ahead of Bautista 13th, and Barbara in 14th. Espargaro, Stoner and Kallio all out of the race. 3 Ducatis out of the race already. There's 14 riders left. And behind Simoncelli will be Melandri, surely battling with the 2 Spaniards, Bautista and Barbara. Surely, though, Marco Melandri would love to be up there, though, with these guys here at the front. It has not been a good race for Marco Melandri so far. Down in 12th place. Yes, that's better than his grid position in 17th, but at least he'll get 4 points and will take advantage of misfortune from others, such as Espargaro, Stoner and Kallio. Still 9 laps to go, and Rossi's trying everything he can to pull away from both Dovizioso and Hayden. He hasn't pulled away at all. Hats off to both the Kentucky Kid and Dovi for staying with the Doctor, but no way through. Still an exceptional ride. Great rides from both Dovizioso and Hayden. Maybe Hayden could have still been with that Repsol Honda bike and Dovizioso at Ducati, but who knows? Dovizioso was at Scott Honda, as we all know, in 2008, and his performances in 08 is literally why he's on that Repsol Honda bike for 2009 and for now here in 2010. 8 laps to go. Rossi still leads. Dovizioso 2nd. Hayden 3rd. Lorenzo 4th. Spies 5th. Depunier 6th. Pedrosa 7th. Edwards 8th. Capirossi 9th. Ayama 10th. Meanwhile, Hector Barbara tries to find a way through past his compatriot Alvaro Bautista, but no way through. And there's Melandri just in front of them in 12th place. But like I was saying, Ayama 10th, Simoncelli 11th, then Melandri, and then Bautista and Barbara. Barbara is trying to stay with Bautista as much as possible, but no way through for the satellite Ducati rider. There's 2 Ducati riders left, as we all know, Barbara and Hayden, because the other 3, Espargaro, Kallio and Stoner, are all out of the race, as we all know. But still, an exceptional ride from Nicky. this is easily the best we've seen Nicky since since his Repsol Honda days. Easily the best we've seen him on the Ducati. Could Nicky Hayden bounce back and fight for the title? Well, not just for the top positions, but even the title. If he could, it would be a brilliant season for Nicky Hayden if he could do that. And he's chasing. Look at him now. We're on board with Nicky Hayden. He is right behind. In fact, I think he's trying to line a manoeuvre here on Dovi, but no way through. We're going to have 7 laps to go in a minute. I think if it wasn't for Stoner's crash, this would be the battle for second between Rossi, Dovizioso and Hayden. I think Stoner would have won this race if it wasn't for his crash, but no way through. Dovizioso, meanwhile, has a look at Rossi, but no way through. He went right on the back of Rossi there, but Dovizioso no way through on the Doctor. And Dovizioso stays in second place while Rossi still leads. Hayden, meanwhile, is staying with both of them. And that will be an advantage there for Nicky Hayden if he sees Dovizioso trying to battle with Rossi, so Hayden could try and get both of them. And what makes this battle for the lead even more superb is that it's a Yamaha, a Honda and a Ducati all battling for the lead. Remember Barcelona 2007 between Rossi, Pedrosa and Stoner. Stoner won that battle, and we're going to have a similar battle here with these 3 riders with 7 laps to go. Rossi, Dovizioso and Hayden. This time it's Dovizioso instead of Pedrosa on the Honda and Hayden instead of Stoner on the Ducati. Rossi, though, still leads and is once again, just like in that race in Barcelona 2007, Rossi's in this battle for the lead. But I wouldn't rule out Lorenzo. Lorenzo's in a lonely 4th at the moment, but he hasn't completely lost touch with these 3. But nor is Ben Spies. Spies is just behind Lorenzo. He's like a second or 2 behind Lorenzo, Ben Spies. So don't rule either of those 2 out. They could join these 3. And that would, imagine if Ben Spies did join these 3, it'd be even more exceptional of a ride from Ben Spies. On board with his compatriot, though, Nicky Hayden, the Kentucky kid, 3rd in this race at the moment. Going 284 miles an hour. And Dovizioso, meanwhile, has got past Rossi. Dovizioso takes the lead at Qatar, but Rossi fights straight back. And number 46 has got back into the lead. Rossi is now wary of the pressure, and Dovizioso could have kept the lead then, but no. Rossi fights straight back from Dovizioso. Rossi's doing everything he can to ease the pressure from both Dovizioso and Hayden, but Dovi nearly got through on Valentino there, but no way, but couldn't stick it. And that just shows in that replay there on how much faster the Honda is than the Yamaha on the straight. But look at Rossi's Yamaha in the corner, going into turn 1. And Rossi keeps the lead. Well, fights straight back. And he's going to try and maintain this lead now with 6 laps to go. But can Dovizioso find a way through once more? Nearly 5 laps to go. Nicky Hayden is hanging in there to try and stay with Rossi and Dovizioso. I think Hayden's lost a few seconds there on Dovizioso in those couple of corners, but don't rule Nicky Hayden out just yet. A slide there from the back of Dovizioso's bike, and that just shows. Look at Lorenzo. Lorenzo's really on a charge on that last lap. Lorenzo's gone faster than Hayden. Don't rule out Jorge Lorenzo from this race. He could join in the battle for the lead, Jorge Lorenzo here, and that would be brilliant from Porfuera. Can he join in the fight for the lead? He is closing in on Hayden, which means in turn he's closing in on Dovizioso and Rossi. Rossi takes a different line to Dovizioso that time. Dovizioso tries to find a way through, but no way through. In fact, Hayden's now right behind Dovizioso because Dovizioso tried to find a way through on Rossi, but I think Rossi's forced him a bit wide there. Rossi maintains his lead, and now Hayden's right behind Dovizioso, and Hayden could retake Dovizioso and go back into second place. But there is Lorenzo in fourth, from Spies in fifth, and Randy Depunier in sixth. They are there, but they're not close enough to these top three. Lorenzo, though, is the only one out of those three riders from fourth, fifth, and sixth place that is trying their best. Well, they're all trying their best, obviously, but he's trying to make an impression on the front three. And Lorenzo has gone faster than both. I think he's gone faster than both Hayden and Dovizioso these last few corners and laps. So, don't rule out Jorge Lorenzo just yet, but his teammate still leads. Nicky Hayden goes right on the back of Andrea Dovizioso, but no way through. As we go past turn 10, and he goes past turn 10 and he's through. Hayden has come through on Andrea Dovizioso, and Nicky's up to second place. What a move from Nicky Hayden. He could challenge Valentino Rossi now for the lead. Could Nicky Hayden win this race? If so, this would surely be one of the best days of Nicky Hayden's life. It'd be his first win since Laguna Seca all the way back in 2006. And Hayden's through. Can Hayden catch Rossi? Dovizioso, though, hasn't lost touch with Nicky one bit, but that was superb riding there from Hayden. Dovizioso, though, fights straight back on the main straight, seeing that the Honda is faster than the Ducati on the straight. And Andrea Dovizioso moves back into second place, but Nicky Hayden is staying with him. However, this fight for second place between Hayden and Dovizioso is going to help Jorge Lorenzo, because Lorenzo is going to close in on both Dovizioso and Hayden if these two keep swapping positions for second place. It will also help Rossi. In fact, that last lap, that just shows how much faster Rossi has gone faster than Dovizioso. So, Rossi still leads with 4 laps to go. Dovizioso second, Hayden third, Lorenzo fourth, and Spies is there in fifth. Spies hasn't lost touch from Lorenzo. Depunier has lost touch slightly from Lorenzo and Spies. But 6th place would still be a good result for Randy Depunier after a not the best of starts, starting from 4th on the grid and then going all the way down to 8th at the start. 4 laps to go, and yeah, you can see how much faster Rossi's gone then. He's pulling away. He's completely pulled away from Dovizioso and Hayden. The only thing that can make either Dovizioso or Hayden win now is if Rossi crashes out or has a problem with his Yamaha. But I think that's it. I think the reigning world champion, Valentino Rossi, will now go on and win this race here at Qatar. We're going to have 3 laps to go in a minute. Dovizioso's still holding off Nicky Hayden, but there will be 3 laps to go. It is Rossi who leads, as we know. But I think, like I said, I think that's it. I think that's it. And Rossi's now over a second ahead of Dovizioso. I think that's it. Yeah, Rossi, I think, will now go on and win this race, and will get the first 25-point haul of 2010. But Nicky Hayden now must be thinking right now. Nicky Hayden must be thinking right now, why is this happening? Because a few laps ago, he got past Dovizioso and looked to challenge Rossi for the lead. But now, look who's just behind both Dovizioso and Hayden. It's Jorge Lorenzo. Lorenzo's closed right up on both Dovizioso and Hayden with these last 3 laps. Ben Spies watches these 3 from 5th place, and that just shows, yeah, Lorenzo 156.042, Hayden 156.711, and that just shows that the Yamaha is going faster than both the Honda and the Ducati at the moment. So, can Lorenzo finish second? I think Rossi will go on and win this race unless he crashes out or has a mechanical problem. But who's going to finish second? Will it be Dovi? Will it be the Kentucky Kid? Or will it be Porfuera? We got a battle for second here in our hands. Honda versus Yamaha versus Ducati. And one of these three riders is going to be disappointed with the outcome of this race. Nicky Hayden will be hoping that will not be him. Lorenzo tries to find a way through on Hayden, but no way through. Rossi's now going to have 2 laps to go. Rossi starts his penultimate lap. Lorenzo cannot find a way through on Hayden. He's pushing hard as he can. Remember, the Yamaha and the Ducati aren't as fast as the Honda on the straights. And that's why Dovizioso still got second place here. But Lorenzo, look at the corner speed from his Yamaha compared to Hayden's Ducati. And Lorenzo should surely, he's looking for a podium here, Jorge Lorenzo. Lorenzo is hungry for a podium. He does not want Valentino Rossi to get another title this season, and Lorenzo is through on Hayden. And Lorenzo's up to third. Hayden will be gutted if he finishes in 4th place, but Hayden will need to fight straight back if he wants to be on the podium. His first podium since Indianapolis in 2009. But Lorenzo's up to third. Lorenzo is up to third. Can Lorenzo now overtake Dovizioso? Lorenzo is through on Hayden. There's nothing Hayden can do. And this will be unfortunate luck from Nicky Hayden if he doesn't finish on the podium here, because I think he truly deserves it in this race. He's been absolutely superb from start to finish this race. Lorenzo tries to force a manoeuvre on Dovizioso. Whoa! What a manoeuvre from Lorenzo. He barges past Andrea Dovizioso, and Lorenzo goes up to second, and it is now a Yamaha 1-2 with 2 laps to go. Lorenzo barges past one of his big arch rivals from the 125 and 250 days, Andrea Dovizioso, and Lorenzo is through to second. Can Hayden get past Dovizioso as well? One of these 3 riders is going to be off the podium. And look at Dovizioso with the horsepower of that Honda on the straight. Can he get past Lorenzo? Not quite. He's going to try and go through on turn 1, but Lorenzo brakes superbly. Fantastic stuff from Jorge Lorenzo. Rossi now leads by over 2 seconds. And Rossi is surely going to win this race. Lorenzo's second. Lorenzo knows that if Rossi wins this race, second place is still a pretty decent result from Lorenzo for the start of this championship, especially that Stoner has crashed out of this race. Dovizioso's in 3rd, Hayden's in 4th. Who is going to be on the podium out of these 3 riders? It's Yamaha versus Honda versus Ducati. Rossi's surely going to win this race. It's the last lap, and the doctor, this will be Rossi's first win at Qatar since 2006. Of course, Rossi won here in 2005 and 2006. There's only been 3 race winners in the top class at Qatar, and they are Casey Stoner, Valentino Rossi, and Sete Gibernau back in 2004. This will be Rossi's 3rd victory at Qatar. He'll be level with Stoner. Hayden, meanwhile, has gone through on Dovizioso. He's desperate for that podium, the Kentucky Kid. This will be his first podium since Indy in 2009. And Nicky is desperate for that podium. Can Nicky also catch up to Jorge Lorenzo? I don't think so. I think Lorenzo's going to finish second. The big battle is going to be between Hayden and Dovizioso for 3rd place. Hayden's got to hold on to 3rd as hard as possible because that Honda is faster than that Ducati on the straight. Look at Dovizioso. Dovizioso's trying to find a way through. Rossi wins the race, and Dovizioso is through on the cruel straight, on the home straight. Only just. Lorenzo a brilliant second. Cruel luck from Nicky Hayden to finish 4th. He deserved to be on the podium here today. That's cruel luck for him. Ben Spies finishes 5th. A brilliant ride from him. Depunier 6th. Pedrosa 7th. Edwards 8th. Loris Capirossi holds off Hiroshi Ayama in 9th spot. Ayama's 10th. And that is Bautista. A crash at the end for Alvaro Bautista. He'll be gutted with that with his first race here in 2010. That's gutting from Alvaro Bautista. And he will join the three Ducatis, Espargaro, Stoner and Kallio after this race. He was under pressure, catching up to Barbara and Simoncelli, and Bautista has crashed out of the race. Valentino Rossi, meanwhile, starts off his title defence with a win. Stoner crashed out. Not a great race for Pedrosa. Lorenzo with his broken right hand and a superb second place from him with that broken right hand. So this is the race Valentino Rossi would have surely wanted to kick off his title defence. And the number 46 will get the first 25-point hole for 2010. But yeah, what a race for Rossi. What a race for Lorenzo. What a race for both Dovizioso and Hayden. But cruel luck for Nicky Hayden to finish fourth. He deserved to be on the podium, but as did Dovizioso. But it's just, they all had brilliant races. Rossi, Lorenzo, Dovizioso and Hayden. And look how happy Lorenzo is with that second place, despite the recent operation on his broken right hand. A great ride for him. And look at the wheelie from him as well. Rossi gets the thumbs up from his great friend, Marco Simoncelli. Simoncelli finished in 11th spot. Not a bad start to his MotoGP career. He's finished ahead of his teammate Melandri, who has not had a great race at all, down in 13th. Hector Barbera finished 12th. But a traumatic start to the season for Marco Melandri, finishing in dead last in 13th spot. With the team he has been so successful with in the last 3 seasons he's been there, in 2005, 2006 and 2007. This is the move Lorenzo did on Dovizioso. He barged his way past Andrea Dovizioso, and that secured second place for Porfuera. But Dovi is delighted with third place. He's on the podium. He's beaten Nicky Hayden to the line. He'll be satisfied because the Hondas have struggled. The Hondas have struggled in this race. Well, Pedrosa especially, down in 7th place. Not a good start for Pedrosa. This is the replay. This is the replay of Nicky Hayden going past Andrea Dovizioso. And that's cruel luck from the Kentucky kid. Honestly, that's cruel luck. 4th place, but still an exceptional ride from Nicky Hayden. And that will be a strong point from other riders to have a look at for the rest of the season as we go along. As we see Valentino Rossi, been a great start for him, of course. Dovizioso's already at Parc Ferme with his bike. Lorenzo's about to join him. And, great starts for both of these men. Can they challenge? Can Dovizioso go higher than 6th this season in the World Championship and challenge the so-called Big Four this season? He's beaten Pedrosa in his first race of 2010. Not a great race from Pedrosa. Dovizioso has shown that the Honda still has the capability and challenge with the Ducati and the Yamaha. But the Yamahas have easily had the best weekend. Rossi first, Lorenzo second, Ben Spies a superb ride in 5th spot on the Monster Yamaha Tech Trois team. The biggest loser of the Yamaha riders is indeed Colin Edwards in 8th spot. A surprisingly low-key start for the man who was by far the best of the rest in 2009. And Colin's got a lot of work to do if he wants to finish higher than that for the rest of the season. And there is poor old Nicky Hayden, completely, I've said it a few too many times now, deserves the podium, but that's still a very good result. And that's, despite he's not on the podium, that's still the best I've ever seen Nicky race on that Ducati. I wonder what you can provide at the next round at Jerez. But look at that. He had third at the last corner, but Dovi had the slipstream and the Honda had the more horsepower going down the straight. And, well, that's what summed up the last spot for the podium. Dovizioso gets the podium. Hayden doesn't. Great rides, though, from the pair of them, though. Like I said, they could both really challenge the top four this season, and especially for the next race at Jerez. Here is Ben Spies. What a ride from Ben Spies. Superb ride from him. By far the best of the rookies. The next rookie down was Ayama in 10th spot. Simoncelli was 11th. Barbara was 12th. Bautista and Espargaro were both out of the race. So here is the final result. Valentino Rossi wins from Jorge Lorenzo in second. A good ride from Lorenzo with that broken right hand. And he will know that he's got the rest of the season to battle it out with Rossi for the championship. So second isn't too bad for Lorenzo, especially that Pedrosa's in 7th and Stoner crashed out of the race. They are the two biggest losers today in this race, Pedrosa and Stoner. And, well, especially Stoner, because he looked set to win this race, but crashed out. He has owned the Losail track since 2007 and crashes out. So there is the championship. The championship standings are obviously the same as the race. Rossi on 25, Lorenzo on 20, Dovizioso 16, Hayden 13, Spies 11, Tapunier 10, Pedrosa 9, Edwards 8, Capirossi 7, Ayama 6, Simoncelli 5, Barbara 4, Melandri 3. 14th and 15th obviously didn't happen because there are 17 riders on the grid and 4 of those riders retired from the race, and they were Bautista, Espargaro, Stoner and Kallio. Here's Randy Depunier. 6th place for Randy Depunier. He started from 4th on the grid. He didn't have a great start, but still a good start to the season for Randy Depunier, the Frenchman, to finish in 6th place. A missed gear from him meant he lost touch with Spies, but I think he's more than happy to finish less than 10 seconds behind our race winner. And, a good result from Depunier after not the best of starts. So, yeah, Lucio Cecchinello will surely be delighted with that. What a race here at Qatar for the opener of 2010. I wonder what the rest of the season is going to provide. Jerez, Le Mans, Mugello, Silverstone replaces Donington this year for the British Grand Prix. Then it's Assen, Catalunya, the Saxon Ring, Laguna Seca, Brno, Indianapolis, Misano, Aragon, Motegi, Sepang, Phillip Island, Estoril and Valencia, finishing it all off. There is Hiroshi Ayama. A great race for him to finish in 10th. He's very happy with the result he's had to finish in 10th place. He's second of the rookies behind Spies. That's still a good result for Ayama for the start of his career, and we're excited to see what the rest of the season provides for the Japanese rider. There is Dovizioso getting interviewed by one of the BBC journalists from BBC Sport, Matt Roberts, as we see. But no, a great ride from Dovizioso, a great ride from Lorenzo, but the man with the biggest smile on his face will easily be Valentino Rossi. And here he is. He's finally come to Parc Ferme, and 25 points goes to the doctor. Davide Brivio hugs him, the team manager of the Fiat Yamaha team, and he's delighted. Amazing results from the doctor. He goes to hug his pit crew, the Rossi side of the Fiat Yamaha garage, who's right by there with him at Parc Ferme. Will it be his 8th title in his Grand Prix career in the Premier class? His 10th title overall. Obviously, he's had a 125 title in 1997 and his 250 title in 1999. This is going to be a big year for Valentino Rossi. It's been a good start of the 25 points, but this will be a big year. He's got Lorenzo, Pedrosa, Stoner to all there to challenge him this season. and he called 2009 his hardest championship yet. So we'll see what happens. There is Loris Capirossi, the 250 world champion of 1998. He finishes in 9th spot. I think he looks disappointed not to be more competitive in his 300th Grand Prix, but not a bad race for Loris, 9th spot. He just held off Hiroshi Ayama. Here's the top speed. Hector Barbera was actually fastest for top speed, 325.3 kilometers per hour. Dovizioso second from Hayden, Stoner, Pedrosa, Edwards, Ayama, Depunier, and Lorenzo. There's your top 9. But it was Stoner who set the fastest lap of the race. And Valentino Rossi's right at the bottom for top speed. Kallio 10th, followed by Espargaro, Bautista, Melandri, Spies, Capirossi, Simoncelli, and Rossi. He's lowest on top speed, but wins the race. How ironic. But no, Stoner, though, did set the fastest lap of the race. A 1 minute 55.537, going 102.17, going 100, around 173 miles per hour from Casey Stoner. This is the replay of the highlights. As we see that lightning start from Pedrosa, Stoner really got bogged down in turn 1. Even Capirossi was ahead of him for a bit. But look at that bobble there from Pedrosa. Rossi tries to go through, but no way through. Look at the exhaust coming out from... Look at the fire coming out of the exhaust from Rossi's bike there. Pedrosa then takes the lead from Rossi. And then Stoner takes third from Hayden's brilliant start. Then Stoner goes up to second. And then Stoner takes the lead from Pedrosa. And he looked set to get 4 in a row here at Qatar. But then the inevitable happens, which we'll see in a minute. Yes, right there. Casey Stoner crashes out of the lead at Qatar. Rossi inherits the lead. And he didn't look back. Aleix Espargaro retires from the race. Shame for him. And you can see Danny Pedrosa dropping back and back. Spies and Depunier going past him. Dovizioso, Pedrosa's teammate, meanwhile, challenges Rossi for the lead. Rossi holds on to the lead. And then both Dovizioso and Hayden come under pressure from Lorenzo. Depunier there going past Pedrosa. And there's Hayden retaking second from Dovi. Then Dovi fought back past Hayden going into that first... he did fight back, but no, that was Lorenzo going through there on Hayden in the first corner. And then Lorenzo barged his way past Dovizioso for second. Two great 250 rivals there, Lorenzo and Dovizioso. Bautista crashed right at the end while trying to challenge Simoncelli and Barbera. Hayden got into third spot to overtake Dovizioso. Lorenzo was going to secure second. Rossi won the race to kick off his title defence. Dovizioso just beat Hayden to the line for third spot. Cruel luck for Nicky Hayden, but still a great race, nevertheless, from the 2006 world champion. But also a great ride from Andrea Dovizioso. He saved a potentially disastrous weekend for the factory Honda team with a fine ride. That just shows how much of a bad race Pedrosa's had down in 7th spot. Like I said, the 2 biggest losers at the start of this season here at Qatar have indeed been Stoner and Pedrosa. Rossi and Lorenzo, to a certain extent, have taken advantage of Stoner's misfortune here and of Pedrosa's wretched race down in 7th spot. But yeah, we're now going to see the top 3 go onto the podium. Rossi, Lorenzo and Dovizioso. And we're going to see them come up any minute now. We're going to leave Parc Ferme and join the podium. But no, what a start to 2010. Bring on Jerez. Bring on Jerez. It's going to be an exceptional race. It's April the 11th today here at Qatar. We're at Jerez on the 2nd of May. It's a bit of a long wait, but still, we've got 18 races this season and 2 new tracks as well, Silverstone and Aragon. Silverstone replacing Donington on the calendar, and Aragon being the 4th Spanish track to be added to the Grand Prix calendar, along with Jerez, Barcelona, Catalunya and Valencia. So yeah, look at the tyres there from both Rossi and Lorenzo's Yamaha. Both of their Yamahas just shows how hard the riders really have ridden here this race and in every single MotoGP race, as we know. But yeah, it has been a wicked start to the season. What we're going to see at Jerez, and Jerez is actually one of Dani Pedrosa's favourite racetracks, so he could bounce back hit there at Jerez. But watch out for Rossi, watch out for Lorenzo. Here's the replay of Rossi celebrating under the floodlights here at Qatar. Look at that smile. That's a clear sign of so happy after seeing Stoner have his misfortunes today. Let's see what happens at Jerez. Stoner's never won at Jerez. He could really fight back at Jerez as well. But this is the race Stoner would have wanted to win, because Stoner's won at Qatar since 2007, 3 in a row, 07, 08 and 09. But missed opportunity for Casey. 25 points completely thrown out of the window and into the cloud of dust from Casey Stoner. What a shame for the Australian. He's probably going to be in his motorhome right now, absolutely furious. But no wonder. 25 points gone. Can he win at Jerez? He's never won at Jerez before in his career. This could be his first. But like I said, it's very strong this year, the competition. Dovizioso and Hayden, after seeing what I've just seen here at Qatar for the first race of the season, they could really bridge the gap and challenge the top four this season. The top four, dubbed as the four aliens, Rossi, Lorenzo, Pedrosa and Stoner. They could challenge them, but the three aliens in turn, Lorenzo, Pedrosa and Stoner, could make life difficult for Rossi for the rest of this season. Rossi, though, has won the first race of this season, so we don't know yet, but it's going to be a very intriguing season, that's for sure. Right, well, the riders are now about to finally come onto the podium. There is Jorge Lorenzo. Jorge Lorenzo with Rossi and Dovizioso there. They are taking their time, aren't they? But they will eventually come on any minute now. It's an Italian, a Spaniard, and an Italian on the podium. As we see there, 2 Italian flags, 1 Spanish flag. We're going to hear the Italian national anthem tonight. And as we see there, it just shows that with the Yamaha 1-2, it's been a brilliant start to the season for the Fiat Yamaha team. I think the team are the clear favourites once more for the 2010 crown. Meanwhile, here they come. There is Dovizioso. He is on. He finishes in 3rd spot. There is Lorenzo. He finishes in 2nd. And here comes the winner. Here he is, the Doctor, Valentino Rossi. Started off his title defence in the best way possible, since Stoner crashed, Pedrosa having a terrible race, and Rossi took advantage of that and won the race. There he is, shaking the hands, respect there between Rossi and Lorenzo. And there is Dovizioso gets his trophy for 3rd spot. What a race this has been for Dovi. Great start to the season for him. If there's anyone that won't be happy, it will be Dani Pedrosa. He was 16 and a half seconds behind Dani Pedrosa, and that just shows that Pedrosa's been one of the big losers tonight, and he will want to bounce back at his home track, well, one of his home tracks at Jerez. Lorenzo gets his podium for 2nd spot, and this is the trophy for our race winner, Valentino Rossi. Listen to the cheers of not just the Yamaha pit crew, but the whole fans, the whole crowd as well. And in a minute, we're going to hear the Italian national anthem, and here we are. And there we have it. You can see the cheer and happiness. He's very, very pleased with that victory. Could this be the 10th world title Valentino Rossi will be absolutely dreaming for? But it's still early days. There's still 17 rounds to go. And in a minute, the champagne's coming out. There's Rossi and Dovizioso talking now. And in a minute, yeah, the champagne will come out. And literally been a wicked race here at Qatar. And yeah, we'll be back for the second round of the season at the Spanish Grand Prix at Jerez in Andalusia, southern Spain, on the 2nd of May. The second round was once again going to be the Japanese Grand Prix at Motogp, but Motogp has been postponed. Like I said, it's between Aragon and Sepang this season for the championship. But no, Motogp got postponed because of the disruption to the air travel after that second eruption from the Eyjafjallajökull volcano in Iceland. And Motogp's been pushed back to October for round 14 of the MotoGP World Championship. So yeah, we will see you next time on the 2nd of May at Jerez in southern Spain. So, I wonder what will happen there. Anyway, bye for now. Cheerio.